What about Baeza? Everyone is screaming for Baeza right now. If he gets in there, he wins. He had the better sheet number, even though he came in second to journalism in the last race. Okay, we'll get to that. First things first. Okay, what about that last race where he did run wide? Baeza did, in defeat to journalism, did have the lead, took over the lead, and he put up. Some people are screaming. He had the lower, Ragazin number. He had the best third graph number. And now I'll talk third graph because that's the winner I'm using to determine the winner. Lower the number, the faster the race. So what happened there? Journalism put up a 1 in victory, and Baeza, because he covered a little bit, he covered more ground and just basically about the same amount of time. Was wide into the first turn. He comes up with a 0, which is an outstanding third graph number. Really puts this one in the mix in the Kentucky Derby. So it was better. But so they're saying, yeah, Baeza was the faster horse. But was he by, the third graph, lower number? Let me tell you a little something about that. And this goes for all these speed figures you get, whether it's Brisnet, whether it's Beyer, any of them, Thorograph, Ragazin. You have to still put in some work. See how that figure came into play there. What determined that figure? In this case, Baeza 0 and journalism a 1, who looked a little bit slower. Here's the deal there. You still have to make some adjustments. Look at the replays, because there are still some things, even in the sheets, that aren't indicated by the number. You have to do this legwork yourself. Now, if you looked at that race or look at the replay, journalism had encountered trouble multiple times during the course of that race. And yes, he was running inside, so it looks like he covered less ground. But that less ground, there was some trouble along the way. He was jostled along the way. He was pinned to the rail. He was stuck inside for a lot of the race. So it's not like he was cruising on the inside, saving ground. He was, battling trouble along the way. He had some bumping in there. And then it was a grind on the inside. Okay. Without that type of trouble, he would have had a different sort of trip. Great job by the jock, Rispoli. Getting him through that, a learning experience for journalism. When he did have the room and he did swing outside, finally broke outside of Barnes from Bob Baffert. Yeah, then he took off. He showed his stuff. He ran down Baeza, passed him. Baeza, put up a bit of as most horses do when they're getting passed in the stretch initially. They try to fight back for a second and then succumb. And that's exactly what happened there. Journalism, sped away, ran back after the race, looked like he could have run another race, was galloping back between galloping and prancing. Watch the replay of that race, the Santa Anita Derby, how he looks coming back after the race. He looked like he could have run another race right there. But Baeza, still a thrilling thorograph number, 0. Okay, and some might say, "Oh yeah, well, they didn't know that journalism was breathing down his back. Otherwise, they would have kicked it into gear, and that wouldn't have happened, before it was too late." I don't know if the horse was going to turn around and run faster after running nearly 1.1 miles at that point. I doubt it. Journalism, if the race was longer, he would have won by open lengths because he was starting to pull away.